strong.
The Philippine Navy is approaching a turning point in its history, a modernization milestone that could redefine its role in the region for decades to come. The challenge is clear: replace the aging Del Pilar-class offshore patrol vessels, a fleet that has served well but is now nearing the end of its operational life. The opportunity, however, is even clearer, and it might come from much closer than many expect. Not from Europe or the United States, but from right here in Southeast Asia, in the shipyards of Cebu. Japan and Australia have already begun a groundbreaking naval partnership, working together on the next generation of advanced frigates. This cooperation, involving cutting-edge design from Japan and major shipbuilding contracts in Australia, opens a rare window for the Philippines. The question now is whether Manila will seize it before the moment passes. For over a decade, the Del Pilar-class vessels, originally U.S. Coast Guard Hamilton-class cutters, have been the backbone of the Navy's long-range patrols, maritime security operations, and presence missions in contested waters. When these ships entered Philippine service between 2011 and 2016, they brought new endurance and range to the fleet. But they were already decades old at the time of transfer, having been commissioned into the U.S. fleet in the late 1960s and early 1970s. By the early 2030s, they will have been in service for roughly 65 years, far beyond the typical lifespan of a warship. The Philippine Navy has little choice but to plan their replacement now. Early procurement schedules suggest that as soon as 2025 or 2026, Manila will place an order for 2 new frigates. These will serve as an immediate capability boost, but the bigger picture is a long-term program to introduce a whole new class of modern, multi-role combatants to guard the nation's vast and vulnerable maritime zones. This is where the 30 FFM, Japan's most advanced surface combatant, enters the discussion. Also referred to as the 06 FFM, this frigate represents a leap in capability over previous Japanese designs. Tokyo initially planned to produce 22 Mogami-class frigates, a design optimized for cost efficiency and stealth in peacetime patrols. But in 2023, faced with a changing security environment, Japan revised the plan. The Mogami run would be capped at 12 hulls, and the freed-up resources would go into developing the more powerful 06 FFM. At 4,800 tons, the 06 FFM is significantly larger than the Mogami. It is built not merely for low-intensity missions, but for sustained operations in high-threat environments. Its weapon suite is formidable: Type 23 surface-to-air missiles for fleet air defense, Type 12 anti-ship missiles for striking enemy vessels, anti-submarine rockets for undersea warfare, and a 32-cell vertical launch system capable of deploying a variety of precision-guided munitions. The design also integrates advanced sensors, electronic warfare capabilities, and improved survivability features to withstand battle damage. While the Mogami emphasized sleek stealth lines and minimal radar signature, the 06 FFM shifts the focus toward endurance, robustness, and combat readiness. It is intended to serve as a fleet centerpiece, equally capable in anti-air, anti-surface, and anti-submarine warfare. In short, it is the kind of ship the Philippine Navy has never had before, but urgently needs. Australia's role makes this story even more intriguing. Canberra has officially joined the 06 FFM program, with plans to acquire 6 to 8 of these frigates for the Royal Australian Navy. The shipbuilding partner chosen for this effort is Austal, a global leader in naval construction known for producing both aluminum-hulled fast ships and more traditional steel warships. Here is where the Philippine connection becomes critical. Austal operates one of its largest and most capable shipyards in Balamban, Cebu. This facility is staffed by thousands of highly skilled Filipino workers and has already produced advanced patrol vessels for export to countries around the world. It has experience with steel hull construction, modular shipbuilding techniques, and large-scale naval projects. In other words, it is more than capable of taking on the assembly, and potentially partial construction, of a warship like the 06 FFM. Imagine the implications if the Philippine Navy were to select the 06 FFM as the Del Pilar successor. The project could be executed in partnership with Mitsubishi Heavy Industries and Austal Philippines. Instead of shipping in fully built warships from abroad, assembly, and perhaps even significant manufacturing, could happen on Philippine soil. This would bring immediate benefits: technology transfer, advanced training for the workforce, hundreds of skilled jobs, and a leap forward in the nation's self-reliant defense posture program. The strategic timing could not be better. The West Philippine Sea is increasingly contested, with maritime incidents, shadowing operations, and territorial challenges becoming more frequent. The Philippines needs ships that can not only patrol and show the flag, but also deter potential adversaries, protect sea lanes, and integrate seamlessly with allied forces in joint operations. The Del Pilar class has been a workhorse, but it lacks modern air defense systems, has limited missile capability, and was never designed for high-intensity combat in heavily contested waters. In contrast, the 06 FFM would arrive fully equipped to handle complex, multi-domain threats. Its long-range sensors and networked combat systems would make it a valuable asset in combined operations with Japanese and Australian navies, both of which are deepening security ties with Manila. Beyond the purely military aspect, there is also a powerful diplomatic dimension. A trilateral defense project involving Japan, Australia, and the Philippines would send a clear signal of unity in the face of regional security challenges. It would demonstrate that the Philippines is not merely a recipient of defense aid, but an active partner in building regional security architecture. All the pieces are on the table. Japan is designing and refining the 06 FFM. Australia is building it for its own navy. Austal Philippines has the facilities and the talent to be part of the process. The Philippine Navy is actively seeking a replacement for its aging offshore patrol vessels. The only question that remains is whether the Department of National Defense will commit to such a partnership. If it does, the result could be historic, not only in terms of fleet modernization, but also in placing the Philippines firmly on the map as a player in advanced naval manufacturing. The blueprint for the country's next-generation frigates might not be drawn in a foreign yard at all. Instead, it could be laid out in the waters of Cebu, where a Philippine-built or Philippine-assembled 06 FFM could take shape. When that day comes, the long watch of the Del Pilar class will end, and a new era of Philippine naval power will begin, with ships capable of defending the nation's interests, standing shoulder to shoulder with allies, and proudly flying the Philippine flag across the West Philippine Sea.